So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Google Pixel 7 Pro is the best value phone you can buy today in terms of the flagship area. That includes the upcoming S23 Ultra on February 17th available. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to cover it here on the channel. Stay tuned. But I've been just analyzing all these flagships I've been reviewing, and this one stands out to me as the best value. Give me a chance to explain why. So the price point of this is $899 retail, goes up from there, but oftentimes you'll get this cheaper. Usually Google's running a discount, or you can just apply a trade-in and you'll get it much cheaper. And for what you're getting for that price point is pretty incredible. After, using it for several months here, I gotta tell you, I just keep thinking about how good of a deal this is. And if you've seen the reports lately, the Google Pixel series is actually up in sales. And that means that we're likely going to see even more improvements to the next Pixel. So that's awesome. Actually, the Pixel 7 Pro and 6a were the best selling Pixels yet. So the first one is the build. Now the build, while it's not as heavy as something like an S23 Ultra or an iPhone 14 Pro Max, it feels just about as premium as those phones. Yes, we don't have the edge back glass. It is that regular glass. But overall, I don't really think too much about it feeling like a cheaper phone. It really doesn't. It feels like it's playing at the same level. And that, for me, makes me feel like I have a really good value. Now, this phone right here does have, aluminum sides here, but they look quite nice. And I like how it has its own unique kind of look and feel. The speaker grills are different than the other competitors. The camera bar stands out as its own thing. You got a Pixel. It's just a work of art. It's a really beautiful looking phone. And so for that reason alone, I do think this is a really good value because you're paying several less, and what you're getting is a phone that just feels about the same quality. So that's really good. So the next reason is you're getting a stunning 6.7-inch OLED display at 120 Hz and 2K resolution. So whether you're reading or not, this actually has higher pixel density than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. What that means is the display is actually sharper than the way more pricey 14 Pro Max. And so that, again, makes this feel like a great value phone. So I don't care what you're doing, whether you're reading, text, searching to buy yourself a smartphone on the internet, whatever you're doing. It's not only buttery smooth, video looks great on here as well. When you pinch in, just a little punch hole right there, nothing too obtrusive on board. And unlike some of the older Pixels, while this still isn't as bright as I would like it, it's much brighter than prior Pixels, so it's definitely more acceptable now. So just an overall super sharp panel, super enjoyable to use, and actually you can use this one for a rotation as well. So if you do want to auto rotate the screen, it does have that ability, as you see right there. So you can actually use this in a landscape mode, kind of like a little tablet as well. So just overall a really good display experience. Now when you go into the display settings as well, we'll take it over here. You can see the exact brightness level right there, 69% right now. And you have the ability to change the color modes as well. You can go between natural and adaptive depending on what suits your preference. You can even change the screen resolution if you do want to knock it down to save some battery. So it's quite, customizable as well. You do have the ability to turn off smooth display or turn it on. Overall, I just think it's really dope. And then you go right here and you have an always on display. And this clock does move around to save your OLED from getting burned in or anything like that. So just a fantastic panel. Google knocked it out of the park. And for this price, it's one of the best. So the next one is the 50 megapixel camera, and just the whole camera setup in general for the price is freaking good value. So let's go over here, take a look. Now, what I really like about the Pixel camera versus basically every other phone camera is, on the Android side, is that it's just easy. It's point and shoot. It does its AI processing, and you don't gotta know at all what you're doing. I mean, I would have to tweak my own, camera that I use for the channel much more than this to get the similar results. And that's pretty incredible. Now, smartphones are still limited by sensor sizes, but at least, with the Google Pixel 7 Pro, they're pushing it to the point where the sensor size is not mattering as much because their post-processing sharpens things, it analyzes things, and it gives you a result that you would not expect from a phone like this. Also, Google did add a lot of zoom to this camera. You can actually zoom this thing pretty darn far these days, up to 30x. That's a lot of zoom, probably much more than most people will need. And then you have incredible video on here, 4K 60 on the front and rear, a cinematic video mode. You have more modes here, including panoramic, photosphere, and lens. And overall, the results are pretty good. Now, I am a little disappointed with the front-facing camera. I think they can still do some work here. It's a little close to the face, but you can go 0.7x on that one. It's just the front-facing camera doesn't have the most realistic looking effect, but it's still okay. Still a good value phone in pretty much every regard. I don't have too much complaints here. I just think you're getting, and you're getting the macro mode as well. So when we get close, it automatically switches. It's just an awesome, awesome camera experience for the money. You're just getting most of what you need from more premium priced phones, and you don't have to really know much what you're doing. And also they have the magic eraser, which can kind of erase things out of the background. That's also pretty cool. You know, if you want to do some editing, they have some nice editing modes as well, just like most devices. It's just an amazing camera for this money. So definitely adds to its proposition of being the best value phone out there. Now the next one is long software support. So if you do want to do system updates, you'll just go here, system updates. Right here, I am on the latest version. The security patches have been dragging a little bit, but overall, you're going to get up to 5 years of software support on here. And that includes some major OS updates up to 4, security for the last. I mean, it's a long-term smartphone right here. That's another reason why it's a good deal. There's some phones out there for this price, $700-800 that probably aren't going to give you as long as the Pixel when it comes to major Android OS updates. So definitely, I would say the Pixel is one of the better options out here for long-term support. And moving on, I just want to talk about another thing, and that is the smooth and simple software that is provided to you if you decide to get a Google Pixel. This experience is so buttery smooth. You know, I used to always say that Android phones are just not as smooth as iPhones. Well, guess what? That's changing with the current Pixel lines. These phones right here are just so smooth. It's incredible. They have really good animations. They do have really good performance. They have just really good, you know, kind of like touch response as well. When you're touching the phone, it just feels liquid. I don't know if liquidy is a word, but super smooth. Definitely very nice here. And I do think that if you're looking for an Android phone that you just want to feel like, man, I don't want no lags or none of that crap, this is the phone for you right here for sure. The Google Pixel 7 Pro, incredibly smooth. Another reason this is a good value, you have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in here. That's the same as the $500 more S23 Ultra. Now, you also have adaptive preferences, and I've noticed over time, the Pixel actually has gotten better at learning how I use my phone, and the battery lasts a very long time. I'm talking over a day if you're using it regularly. Now, heavy use, you might charge this every night, but it's gonna last throughout a full day of heavy use. And that's what's important when you're buying a phone like this, a more premium device. Google also didn't skimp on wireless charging. You have wireless charging and reverse wireless charging and fast charging. And while it's not the fastest fast charging at 23 watts, it's a pretty good value because it charges rapidly. You do have long enough battery life where you're not gonna need the charger all that much. And you could wirelessly charge it. So, I mean, it's a really good deal here in that area as well. And when it comes to connectivity, you do get Wi-Fi 6E, you do get Bluetooth 5.2, you do have 5G performance on here, USB-C 3.2. It's pretty well loaded in the connectivity department. It's probably not the latest tech out there anymore going here into 2023. We'll have to wait for the next Pixel later this year, but it's still like really, really fast and some of the latest tech out there. So definitely very good there. They don't skip much there. Phone call quality is great on this phone. And the fingerprint sensor also is a little bit better than the Pixel 6 Pro that came before it. So this phone is polished over the Pixel 6 Pro. And it's darn near, like in terms of overall, there's just not a lot to complain about with this phone. There's a bunch of pros to it with very little cons. So overall, I want to wrap it up here on the Pixel 7 Pro. I was going to make my pros list, but this is going to serve as that video. It's just the best value Android phone out there right now when it comes to a flagship grade device. You know, if you want something that feels like it's over $1,000, but you don't have to pay over $1,000, get this Pixel 7 Pro. You're going to be a very happy user. And I'm telling you, if you look out, sometimes they usually have deals on these. You'll get them at the price of a regular iPhone 14. And this blows that phone away easily. So definitely the Google Pixel 7 Pro is the best value phone you can buy right now. I mean, there's not a lot of phones under $900 that are giving you the specs of $1,000 plus smartphones these days. So a really good option. Do you disagree? Do you agree with me down below? But all I can say is Google's headed in the right direction, and I'm excited to see where they go forward on the next edition. Let me know what else you want to see going forward on the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well. Have a great day, and peace.